just get set up with my tea here. My mom crocheted me these coasters. They're little cats. Isn't that cute? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. It's been a while since I've posted a video and I hope you've all been doing really well. I thought that I would start off today's video by doing a little bit of a catch up and just sharing what I've been up to recently, and then we can jump straight into the project planning. So the first piece of news I have is that I got engaged. So my partner and I are getting married and we're both very excited. And if you're wondering if I'm going to be making my own wedding dress, then the answer is yes. I am absolutely planning on making my dress. I actually already have the fabric for it. I found some beautiful like white satin fabric at a thrift store a few years ago actually, so I've had it for a while. I've been prepared and I actually already have some ideas for like what style I want to do and what pattern I'm going to use. So if that's something that you'd like to watch me do and see the process of, then definitely let me know in the comments. The second thing is that I've been busy working on my first sewing pattern, the fray pants. Unfortunately, it's not quite ready yet. It's really close. It has been tested and I got some really great feedback from all of my testers. I think at this point I've just got like a little bit of cold feet around launching it. It's my first pattern and I just want to make sure that it's really good. And I also just want to see if I can improve the fit a little bit more before it's released. But if I'm being totally honest, I've put a lot of pressure on myself throughout this process and at this point I'm feeling pretty burnt out. So I think I just need to take a little bit of a pause from it and then come back to it when I have a little bit more like energy and excitement for it again. So that's going to be on hiatus for a little while, but if you're interested in the pattern, then I'm definitely going to be letting you know on here when it's released. And let me just say that I already had, you know, a lot of respect for pattern makers and especially like indie designers who maybe don't have a professional background in fashion design. But after going through this process myself, I have like a lot more respect for them because making patterns is definitely not easy. So because that project was taking up so much of my time and sort of my creative energy, I actually haven't been sewing a lot. I actually only made one thing off of my summer make list, which was this gingham dress. So I have quite a few projects that I've been sitting on, some that are like more left over from summer and then some that I really want to make for fall. And we also have a vacation coming up, so I'm thinking that I still want to make some of those things I didn't get around to in summer because they would be perfect for my vacation. And also if you live somewhere in the world where you're heading into spring and then summer, then maybe those makes will be more interesting to you anyway. So in this video I thought that I would share everything that I'm planning on making with you, including the fabrics that I've chosen, the inspiration, and what patterns I'm going to use. So let's just jump right into it. So let's start with knitting and kind of get that out of the way. This is my current knitting work in progress. This is the Tombow Tee by Florence Miller, and I'm making this in some Sanasgarn tin line. And the color, I think it's called Kit or Putty in English, but the number is 1015. It's this really nice, like kind of off-white cream color. And I started working on this back in August, so this is taking me quite a while to finish. I chose to knit this project just because I wanted something kind of lighter for summer, and also I just wanted a project as kind of like a palette cleanser to tide me over between sweaters. But what I kind of failed to factor into the equation is that I'm knitting this on 3mm needles, and by the time I had finished doing all of like the raglan increases for the sleeve and then I was separating off for the body, I had almost 500 stitches on my needles. So this is definitely taking me just as long, if not longer, than a sweater, just purely based on the number of stitches. It's also really delicate, so I'm a little bit scared that when I'm finally finished with this, I'm never going to want to wear it because I'm going to be so worried that I'm going to spill something on it or, you know, snag the fabric. I mean, I'm sure I'll wear it because it's beautiful. I love the pattern, but yeah, I think I'm just going to have to be really careful in this, especially because it's taking me so long to make as well. So that's where I'm at with this project. I still have many more rows of stocking stitch to go. I think at this point I'm just really excited because the weather is changing. It's getting a little bit cooler. It feels more like fall outside. I just want to have a sweater back on my needles. Which brings me to my next knitting project for fall, which is going to be a sweater using this Lang Yarns Cloud. I just saw this yarn. I think I came across it on Ravelry and I just absolutely fell in love with it at first sight. It's this really beautiful like pastel rainbow stripe color. They have a few colors and the color I have is number 8. So like I said, I'm planning on making a sweater out of this. And the yarn company Lang Yarns actually has a sweater that goes with this yarn, but I was looking at it and I'm not sure that I want to use that one because it's like a drop shoulder construction, and just with the striping of the yarn, when you have a drop shoulder, the stripes kind of go horizontal but then like vertical down the shoulder and then they change to horizontal again on the sleeve. So there's kind of that like break where the stripes are going one way and then changing to another. So I was just browsing on Ravelry seeing if there was another sweater pattern out there that maybe used a similar weight yarn that I could use. And I came across this one from Petite Knit, and it's called the Novice Sweater, and she maybe has a couple editions of this one because this is the chunky version using a bulky weight yarn. And what I liked about this one is it's not a drop shoulder or even like a raglan increase situation. It's more of like a dispersed increase to shape the body around the neckline. And so I'm hoping that it's going to look a little bit more seamless in the finished product. But yeah, I'm really excited to make this one. It's very colorful, as you can see, which is maybe a little bit out of my like normal comfort zone. I tend to wear, you know, a lot of neutrals and a lot of basics. But yeah, I think that this is going to make a really beautiful sweater. Okay, so now let's move on to some sewing projects. And the first things that I want to talk through are the projects that I kind of planned for summer, but now I'm still planning on making for our upcoming vacation. So the first fabric that I want to show you is this beautiful blue cotton poplin. This is from Core Fabrics, and it is their Core Collection Silky Poplin in the color Slate Blue. And I have sort of like a classic blouse but with a modern twist planned for this one. So I came across this photo on Pinterest, which I'll put on the screen somewhere so you can take a look, and it kind of gives me the vibe of like a traditional like button-up shirt but with a little bit of a twist with the ties and gathers at the sides. So I was looking around for a pattern that I thought I could use to kind of replicate this style, and I came across this one by a company called Puff and Pencil. They're a pattern company based out of Denmark, I think, and they have a really interesting system with their patterns. So what you can do is actually purchase your patterns in pieces and sort of like build your own pattern to get the style or design that you want, which I thought was really interesting. So I ended up choosing one of their tops, which is the tie waist blouse, and then I added a sleeve on it as well. And I think that this is going to be really close to the style that I want to go for, and I think it's going to make a really nice top. And yeah, I don't think I know of any other like pattern companies that are sort of doing this like choose your own adventure style of patterns. So I thought that that was really interesting, and I'm definitely curious to see how this is going to turn out, especially when it comes to the instructions, because I did purchase the patterns separately, so I'm just not really sure how that's all going to come together. But hopefully I can figure it out. So the next thing that I want to make was inspired by a photo or maybe like a recent vlog from Brittany Bathgate. She was on vacation and she was wearing this really beautiful pair of like classic wide leg trousers. So I wanted to try and make some of those for myself. And I do have this fabric. This is a 7-ounce linen. This is from Blackbird Fabrics, and I've had this in my stash for a while. And I've kind of had it earmarked for like different projects over the past few months, but just never got around to actually making anything out of it. So I'm thinking that I can use this, but the only thing is that I'm a little bit worried about using linen for a pair of trousers like this, just because it might be a little bit sheer. So especially when you have like a double layer of the fabric where there's like a pocket or something like that, it's like more visible from the outside. So I was thinking that maybe instead of using a linen for these pants, something like a twill might be a little bit more appropriate. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to use this yet. As for the pattern I'm going to be using for this one, I'm thinking I would like to use the Jessie Lou's Closet Tapioca Trousers pattern. That one's like a really beautiful classic pleated pair of trousers, but they have this really wide like voluminous leg on them. So I think that's going to be really good for the style that I'm going for. And I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the video, but everything that I'm talking about here, including all of the patterns and fabrics, will be linked in the description box below in case you're interested and want to check them out for yourself. So the last thing that I had planned for summer is just a really simple wrap dress with some long sleeves. I actually don't have any fabric picked out for this one yet, but I do have a pattern. So the pattern that I plan to use is the Herbacea Studio Festuca dress. This is just a really nice like wrap style dress. There's a long sleeve option as well as a sleeveless version, and there's also a collar. So I'm thinking that I want to make the dress with both the long sleeves and the collar. I just really like those details. And like I said, I don't have any fabric for this picked out yet, but I'm sure that there's something in my stash that will work. I'm thinking of using just like a lightweight woven, maybe like a cotton or something like that. And in terms of color, I'm actually thinking to just do like a classic black. I think that that's something that's just going to be very timeless and very like easy to style. And yeah, I just wanted something that was just like really easy to kind of throw on and go. It's just like a one-piece outfit. Something that's also really easy to pack, and I think it's something that would work really well for both our vacation and like future summers, but also something that I could still style for fall as well with like a pair of boots and maybe a sweater or a coat. And I'm just realizing as well that if I make this in time, a black dress like this has kind of like witchy vibes, so it could also double as a really good Halloween costume as well. Okay, let's move on to some projects that I have planned for fall. The first fabric that I have is this really beautiful linen twill. So this is from Blackbird Fabrics, and it's their 6.5 ounce laundered linen twill in the color Jewel, which is this really like beautiful dark teal color. And this is really lovely fabric. I've actually used this fabric, not necessarily in this color, but for like several other projects as well. Actually, it's what this jacket that I'm wearing is made out of as well. So yeah, it's just really like soft and beautiful, has like a really nice drape to it. It's really easy to sew with as well. And it's 100% linen, which is my favorite also. So for this, I actually have planned a 2-piece set with kind of like a long sleeve top and some very like oversized voluminous pants. So the inspiration behind this came from a photo that I saw on Instagram from a style influencer called Angarad B. Jones. And I'm really sorry if I'm not pronouncing that name properly. I did look up before this video how to pronounce it, but I still might be totally butchering it. So if I am, I'm really sorry. But anyway, she was wearing this really beautiful set of like a long sleeve top and then these really big pants. And I just really liked it. It's not, you know, a style or outfit that is for everyone, but it's definitely a style that speaks to me and something that I really love. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one, and I'm thinking for patterns I'm going to be using just something like really boxy and simple for the top, maybe like the Wiksten Shift top, which is an old pattern that I have. And then for the pants, I was looking and I came across the Sew Liberated Arthur pants, which is a pattern I've never made before, but I know it's super popular. And yeah, I thought that that would be the perfect pattern to kind of get the style and look that I'm going for with this set. So that's what I have planned for this one. The next fabric that I have is this beautiful blue striped linen. And I'm starting to realize that there's like a lot of a blue theme going on with this video, which I'm totally fine with. I'm not mad about it because blue is, I think, kind of like my comfort color. It's something that I wear a lot in my wardrobe, and I tend to kind of use it like a neutral, just because it goes with so many different things. I love mixing it with like earthy tones like browns and like dark greens. So yeah, I think blue might actually be my favorite color to wear. But anyway, this is the fabric for my next project. So this is from Blackbird Fabrics again. This is their mini stripe yarn dyed cotton linen in the color Cornflower. And I actually don't know if this is still in stock. I think it might be sold out, unfortunately. And for this, I actually have planned a pair of pajamas. For some reason, I don't know why, I've just always really wanted a pair of like traditional pajamas with like a button-down collared top and then just like some straight leg drawstring pants, and I thought that this fabric would be perfect for that, so I picked this up. And it's maybe not going to be the warmest fabric for a pair of pajamas going into like the fall and winter months, but I'm thinking it would still be nice to just layer under a sweater and, you know, have some really like cozy socks or slippers on with. And I think that that would be fine for the colder months. And for the pattern for this one, I'm planning on using the Paper Theory Agnes PJs. They were just like the perfect style that I was looking for, with the button-down top and like collared shirt. And then just, yeah, very like simple straight leg drawstring waist pants. So that is that one. And then last but not least, this is the final project that I have planned for fall. So this is 6-ounce hemp and organic cotton denim, also from Blackbird Fabrics, which I guess is just where I get all of my fabric. But yeah, this is really a beautiful fabric. It's like a very lightweight denim. And I've actually used this fabric for a couple of other projects before. I've made a jacket out of it, and I've also made some pants out of it. This is definitely one of my favorite fabrics that I've ever used, which is why I want to pick up some more and make another project out of it. There's just something about like the softness of it, and the drape and the way that it feels against the body. It's just like so comfortable, so easy to sew with. So because I've already made a jacket and pants out of this, I would really like to make a dress out of this. And I've been thinking for a while that I would really like to make sort of like a artists or like painters style smock dress or jacket, or like maybe even like a shirt dress kind of thing where you can wear it like open as a jacket or also wear it as a dress. So I've come across a couple of patterns that I think could work really well for this. The first one is the Jail Dress by Snitchin Patterns, and then the second one is the Collie Dress by Merchant & Mills. But neither of them I would say is like 100% exactly what I'm looking for, so this is maybe a project that I'm thinking of drafting myself. So we'll see how that goes and what I end up doing, but yeah, again, I just really love this fabric, so I'm really excited to have another piece in my wardrobe made from this. Okay, there actually is one final project that I wanted to mention that I'm thinking of making in the next little while. Not necessarily for fall, but just in general. And that is a patchwork dress using a lot of my fabric scraps. So over my several years of sewing, I've accumulated just a lot of fabric scraps. And they're really beautiful fabrics, and the scraps are pretty big, but maybe just not large enough to make an actual standalone garment out of. So I thought that patching them together and making them into kind of a La Reunion style patchwork dress would be really beautiful. So here's just like a small sample of some of the scraps that I have and some of the colors. I've got like a whole range of different colors and then some patterns as well, which I think would be really cute to mix and match. So yeah, I've kind of been sitting on these scraps for a while and trying to think of something that I can use them for and something to do with them, and I think that this project would be perfect. But I've never actually ventured into doing anything like patchwork or quilting before, so if you have any tips or advice for someone who's trying it out for the first time, then please do leave those in the comments below, and that would help me out a lot. So that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed planning my makes with me. If you did, please don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more like this in the future. And also leave a comment below telling me what you're planning on making in the next little while, as I'd love to hear what you have planned as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!